Can you imagine failing again and again, and still serving millions? Today, I will tell you an incredible true story. It is the journey of Abdul Sattar Edhi, the man Pakistan called an angel of mercy. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Learn English through inspiring stories. In this video, you will learn simple, useful English through a powerful biography. We will travel through poverty, rejection, and hard choices. But we will also see kindness, courage, and real service. And listen carefully, because one small decision changed everything. By the end, you will learn new vocabulary and 3 life lessons. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Abdul Sattar Edhi was born on February 28, 1928. He was born in Bandha, in Gujarat, British India. His family was not rich. Life was simple, and money was limited. Still, his home had something valuable, a strong heart for others. When Edhi was young, his mother became very ill. She was paralyzed, and later she struggled with mental illness. Edhi was only a boy, but he helped her every day. He cleaned, fed, and cared for her with patience. He saw pain close to him, inside his own house. One day, his mother gave him 2 coins. She said, "Use 1 coin for yourself." Then she added, "Use the other coin for someone in need." That simple message stayed in his mind for life. As a child, he was quiet but observant. He noticed hungry people near markets and streets. He heard crying in small homes in crowded lanes. And he felt something heavy in his chest. He thought, why does help come so late? Then came a huge change. In 1947, partition happened, and millions moved. Edhi's Muslim family migrated to the new country of Pakistan. They reached Karachi with fear and uncertainty. Karachi was loud, busy, and confusing. There were refugees everywhere. Edhi saw tired faces, broken families, and empty hands. And deep inside, he wondered, is anyone going to care? But this was just the beginning. Edhi wanted to help people, but he had almost nothing. No big job. No powerful friends. No special position. Only a stubborn will and a sensitive heart. He tried different small jobs. He worked hard, but life stayed difficult. At times, he felt weak and exhausted. He thought, how can I help others, when I struggle too? Then he made a bold move. In the early years after partition, Karachi needed basic care. So Edhi decided to start small, very small. He set up a tiny clinic space. He collected medicine, asked for support, and stayed consistent. In 1951, he formally established what became the Edhi Foundation. People laughed at him at first. Some said, "You are wasting your life." Others whispered, "He wants attention." And some asked, "Who are you to do this?" Edhi replied, "I am nobody. I only want to serve." But service is not easy when you are poor. Here's the shocking part. One day, a man came and demanded free help. When Edhi offered medicine, the man shouted, "Give more." Edhi felt insulted, but he stayed calm. He told himself, "If I get angry, I lose my purpose." Soon, Edhi faced another kind of rejection. He went to donors and shopkeepers for support. Many closed their doors. Some said, "Come back later." Some said, "We don't trust you." He walked outside under the hot sun. His clothes were simple and worn. His feet hurt, and his stomach felt empty. He thought, "Maybe I am not good enough." Then another thought came, "But people are suffering right now." And then, a painful failure hit him again and again. He applied for help, tried projects, and faced problems. In his early journey, he failed many times to build stability. No steady funding. No smooth system. Each day felt like a test. He once whispered, "How long can I continue like this?" Then he answered himself, "As long as someone needs me." Years later, an epidemic created a major crisis. In 1957, the Asian flu spread widely. Hospitals became crowded. People needed transport and emergency care fast. Edhi ran through busy streets. He heard ambulance sirens from far away. But there were not enough ambulances for everyone. He looked at the suffering and thought, "This cannot be the end." Donations came during that crisis. With those donations, he bought his first ambulance in 1957. That was a turning point. But wait, owning one ambulance was not the victory. The real battle was starting now. Edhi stood beside that ambulance and felt something powerful. He could almost hear a voice in his heart saying, "This is where everything changed." He made a clear decision. He said, "I will build a service that never sleeps." He declared, "I will help people without discrimination." And he meant it. He did not depend on luxury or comfort. He chose a simple life, so he could serve more. He once said he lived by principles like simple living and hard work. Then something unexpected happened. People started watching him closely. They saw he was not acting. He was working day and night. A young nurse named Bilquis also joined his mission later. They became partners in life and service. With support, Edhi's confidence grew stronger. One evening, he returned from a long day. He washed his face with cold water. He felt tired, but his mind stayed awake. He thought, "If I stop, who will carry them?" He opened a small notebook and planned new steps. More volunteers. Better coordination. Faster response. He told a helper, "We must move quickly." The helper asked, "What if we fail?" Edhi answered, "Then we try again." And soon, a small victory arrived. A family called for help late at night. Edhi's team reached them quickly. The sick person survived. The family cried and said, "You saved us." Edhi looked down and thought, "This is why I exist." He set bigger goals in his mind. Not one ambulance. Not one center. A whole network for the forgotten. However, life had other plans. Now the hard work phase began. And this part is intense. Edhi expanded slowly, one step at a time. He begged for donations in streets when needed. He did not feel ashamed. He believed service was bigger than pride. Challenge number 1, trust. People asked, "Where will my money go?" Edhi explained, "It will go to the poor." He kept clear records and stayed honest. Over time, trust grew. Challenge number 2, criticism. Some people attacked his work. They said, "You help the wrong people." They said, "You should only help your own group." Edhi replied, "No religion is higher than humanity." That statement shocked many. But it also inspired thousands. Challenge number 3, scale. Helping a few is hard. Helping millions is harder. Ambulances needed drivers, fuel, maintenance, and planning. Edhi trained volunteers and created discipline. He told them, "Arrive fast. Speak politely. Stay calm." One night, an ambulance broke down mid-route. A patient was inside, breathing weakly. The driver panicked and shouted, "We are stuck." Edhi answered, "Push the vehicle. Don't stop." They pushed it to a safe spot and called another ambulance. The patient survived. You won't believe what happened next. A rival group mocked Edhi after that incident. They said, "Your system is weak." Edhi felt pain, but he learned from it. He improved the system again. He also built services beyond ambulances. Shelters for the homeless. Homes for orphans. Women's support centers. Rehabilitation programs. Even support for abandoned babies through safe cradles. This work was emotionally heavy. Edhi often saw death up close. He heard the last words of strangers. He smelled hospital rooms and cold corridors. He felt the weight of bodies and the weight of grief. Sometimes he returned home silent. Bilquis looked at him and asked softly, "Are you okay?" Edhi whispered, "I saw too much today." Then he added, "But we must continue." Inside his mind, he wondered, "Can my heart handle this?" Then another thought came, "If my heart breaks, it means I am human." There were near-failure moments too. Money became short many times. Fuel costs rose. Supplies ran out. Edhi stood in front of his team and admitted, "We have very little left." A volunteer asked, "Should we stop some services?" Edhi responded, "Stop comfort, not service." He sold personal items when needed. He lived simply, so others could live at all. And then, recognition started. Not from one big event, but from daily proof. Families began calling Edhi first in emergencies. People knew one number, 115. His foundation grew across Pakistan. By later years, the Edhi Foundation had a huge ambulance system. Reports commonly cite over 1,800 ambulances in the network. It was recognized as the largest volunteer ambulance organization. Listen carefully to this. Edhi did not build a business. He built a movement. But the most touching part is still ahead. Now let's talk about impact. Because numbers here are not small. The Edhi Foundation expanded into many services. Guinness World Records described a wide network of relief centers, hospitals, and more. It also mentioned soup kitchens feeding about 100,000 people a month. Over time, Edhi became a guardian for many children. By the time of his death, reports said he was registered as a parent or guardian for nearly 20,000 adopted children. The organization built homes too. Edhi Foundation site describes 18 homes across Pakistan, including several in Karachi. Edhi also received major awards in his life, including Pakistan's Nishan-e-Imtiaz and the Lenin Peace Prize. But he did not chase awards. He chased need. A journalist once asked him, "Why do you do this?" Edhi answered, "Because people have no one." Another person asked, "Are you tired?" He replied, "I will rest in the grave." In later years, he faced health problems. Yet he stayed connected to his work. He passed away on July 8, 2016, in Karachi. Pakistan mourned deeply. Many people felt like they lost a family member. But his legacy continues through the foundation and its volunteers. His story still teaches a simple truth. Service does not require perfection. It requires commitment. And now, what can we learn from him? Let's end with 3 strong lessons from Edhi's life. Lesson 1. Failure is not the end, persistence is power. Edhi faced rejection and repeated setbacks. Yet he kept moving, step by step, until help became a system. Lesson 2. Small actions can grow into huge impact. One clinic became a foundation. One ambulance became a nationwide network. So ask yourself, what small action can you start today? Lesson 3. Humanity is bigger than labels. Edhi served everyone, without discrimination. That is real strength. So, how can you apply this? Start with one habit, help one person each week. Practice your English daily, even for 10 minutes. And when life rejects you, remember Edhi's example. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video. Subscribe for more English biographies in easy language. And comment below, what part of Edhi's life inspired you most? Next time, we will cover another powerful life story. An ordinary person who changed history through courage. See you in the next video.